So a lot of times I do some pre-testing to see if something's going to work out before I actually start doing it as a video. And this is my process for doing this. So what I thought I'd do was I had some 9.5-inch squares of fabric left over. This is not a muslin. This is a very open weave. It's probably a backing material because it frays really badly. So I don't really want to use it in a pieced unit. So what I thought I'd do is put strips going from corner to corner. I'm actually overlapping the center one on either side, because what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to cut it from corner to corner this way and corner to corner this way. And from this, I should be able to create 8 half square triangles. So stick with me when I show you how this has all worked out. Okay, so here it is. And I did cut it apart like this. So this creates some unique pieces. And what you can do is you can actually start flipping them around and creating other different looking blocks like that. And you can also do something like this. But that's not what I'm intending to do. But this is a nice idea as well. You do notice I did do some stay stitching just to give it a little bit of stability, and also so I would know where the outside edges were. So what I'm going to do again is if you look on the back, I've got all the stitching going this way because that's how I laid them out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each one from the midpoint along the outer edge down in the center, and then I'll have my 8 halves of half square triangles that I'm looking for. And just a quick tip to show you how to find the center point. I've got a square ruler, but a rectangle one will work as well. And what you want to do is take the 45-degree line and match it up on this outside seam here. And then what that will do is to the point as well. And then what I'm going to do is just cut it along here like that. And then I'll have 2 halves to work with. So here are my 8 pieces. I'm very happy with how they're looking. These will eventually be married up with other fabric. And then the final assembly will begin. So for now, I'm just going to show you how I started these because I skipped over that in the beginning. So I said I was doing this as a test, and then I decided just to continue taping. So I have my 9.5-inch square. You can use either side. As I said, this is a fabric that's very thready and very lightly woven, so I think it is a backing fabric. And what I did was I took a ruler, and this one isn't quite long enough, but I'll show you what I mean here. I'm lining this up from corner to corner on the center part of a ruler, and then I want to have a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch mark on either side of that. So when I go to join the fabric or lay it down, I'm going to make sure that I have a nice thick covering here. So this is just a reference mark. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to use a pencil because no one's going to see it. So on that side, then just for ease of drawing, then I'll do this on the other side. And because I already have a line there, I can use it as a reference, like that. I hope you can see that on the camera. So it's here and there. It's a time of year where it gets really dark and dreary here all day long, especially when the rain sets in. So sorry for all the shadows and the low lighting. I really can't do anything about it right now, so we'll just have to put up with it. So looking at the center mark here, we're going to be laying this down. And then again, where this corner is here. And again, all you want to do is make sure the strip is overlapping wherever your pencil lines were. And if you want to be really particular, you can fold this in half and just give yourself an easy reference mark. So I'm just pressing it with my nails a little bit to give an indent as a mark. And then you're just gonna, wherever you have those indents on the fabric, you wanna make sure that that's lined up in the center. So that's looking pretty good. I'll cut this off so it doesn't get caught in my machine. And then I will put a few anchor pins in just to hold it in position. And then what we'll do is, you could also spot glue it if you wanted to. And then for the next piece of fabric, whatever color you choose, make sure it's something that contrasts a little bit. I don't know if this one is long enough. Yes, it is. So what we're going to do on each side of these, we're going to put right sides together. Make sure it goes over the side of this piece of fabric. Then we're going to do a 1/4 inch away from the edge, and then we'll press it open, and then we'll add another piece and continue along. So again, you're just branching these out like this, and that's how I was able to complete that look. So for the pattern sample, I need 2 of these, which will give me 16 blocks, and then I'm gonna do a couple individual ones because I actually want 18 in all. So I'm gonna get this done, and then I'll show you what comes next. So with all the strips sewn on, this is what it looks like on the back. You'll see all my stitching lines here. And then that's what it looks like on the front. So what I want to do before I go and square this up, I'm actually going to do a very generous 1/8 of an inch seam all the way around, just to kind of hold it in place while we maneuver it for all the trimming that's about to go on. So I'll do that. I'll square this up to 9.5, and then I'll do the corner to corner and then corner to corner like I did in the other ones. And then I'll show you how to do the smaller individual blocks, and then what comes next. So for the last, to make the 2 last blocks, what I need to do is, I have a 4.5 inch square. It's the same fabric that I used for the larger one. Again, I've drawn 3 lines down the center, 1/2 inch on either side. I've creased the fabric that I'm going to be placing, and I'm just making sure on either end that it's lining up approximately with that crease. And then, as done before, I will pin this in position. And the reason why I'm using the wider is because when this gets cut in half, we want to make sure that we have a good amount of fabric on either side. And then, like before, we'll take some other pieces and we will stitch them to either side and flip them over, pressing as we go. One thing I do like about this, besides it keeping it stable, all the frayed thread stays underneath, so you don't end up with all these trailing threads getting caught in everything. So I'll just finish this up and then I'll be right back. So with this 4.5 inch block being sewn and trimmed, we'll only need to cut this once, and this is corner to corner, parallel to the seam line. So that would be from here to here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what comes next. So taking a look at what I've done, I've created these triangles, which are from the squares. They were 4 3/4 inches, and I've put right sides together and sew on corner to corner. If you do sew with the strip piece units facing down, oops, like this, and then the fabric going like this, it is more stable, so you are able to maintain a 1/4 inch seam allowance a lot easier. So once these are done, I will be pressing these like this, and then I'll be squaring them up. And what I'll do is I'll take to the smallest size, and that would be the minimum size that I would want to square them all up. For my purposes, I want these all to be 3.5 inches, and then they'll be 3 inches once they're all joined together. So that's the size I'm working with. I'm pretty sure you could get these, if you're careful, to a 4.5 inch unfinished block. So I'll just finish this up and then I'll show you the layout. Here it is all done. I decided just to use a fewer amount of squares. So I've actually used 12 instead of 18. I'm going to add a border around this, and this will become a sampler placemat, which will get donated to a great cause. With leftover blocks, if I go across here, I've actually placed them in the opposite colorway so you can see what they would look like that way as well. So I think I'll go ahead and make some more blocks and make a second one for donation. Really be interested to know how you like this, so please comment, share, like, and all those fun things. And until next time, sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day, and bye for now.